like the content library are the same. You can still customize your gameplay. You can still have your multiplayer game, just like you had in creative, Fortnite creative. And then you can also still build your games and play across different platforms. What I mean by this, you can build your games across PlayStation, computer, and mobile. You can still do this. So the whole of that is combined with the powerful tool of Unreal Engine 5. Like, so you now have all of this from Fortnite Creative, plus all of this from Unreal Engine 5. The work editor workflow is very similar. Very soon we'll be jumping into the environment to be seeing how to download and install UEFN. The editor workflow, if you have used Unreal Engine before, you see it's very similar. You still have full data import pipeline. You can import data into UEFN. The same, if you can build landscape and your water material on your Unreal editor, you can do the same in Unreal Engine. I mean, you can use the same method to build your landscape in UEFN. You still have Niagara and Materials Graph Editor, the same, and then you still have your Lumen and Nanite Geometry. So, what are the advantages of Unreal Editor for Fortnite? What are the advantages? Why do I need to use UEFN? Why do I need to embrace it? One, using UEFN helps you to publish your games directly into Fortnite. It's so fun to do. While building your game, you can just hit the publish button and voila, you are on Fortnite. So you can publish your games inside Fortnite as your own island. You can have your map on Fortnite and you can invite your friends to play with you. And then if you're an eligible creator, and you can publish, and then anyone anywhere in the world can play your game. And then if you build a map, content that players really love, then you're going to make some money. Yes. And also, one other advantage of using UEFN is that Fortnite already has a huge audience of players. As of January last year, we have over 500 million people, registered players on Fortnite. 500 million people registered to play Fortnite. And every month you have over 20 million people playing Fortnite. So that's a huge audience already. You don't need to do so much about marketing because you're building to a platform where the audience is really huge already. And then you can make money with engagement payout. Every month you get engagement payout. Depending on how players love your content, love your map, and play, you get to make a whole lot of money playing, building to Fortnite. Next, you can publish to Fortnite just by tapping the launch button. I'm going to show you that very shortly. Publishing to the Fortnite ecosystem means that you are deploying your games to different platforms like PlayStation, PC, Android, and recently in Europe, you can now play Fortnite using your iOS. Now, that means that if you build for one device, you build for all other devices. You know, the traditional game building of games, you need to focus on, like if you're using Unreal Engine 5, for instance, you need to select which is your target platform to deploy. Are you deploying to desktop? Are you going to use mobile? But it's not the same with UEFN. In UEFN, once you build your game and hit launch and publish to Fortnite, your game can be played across different platforms. And the other very interesting one is that you can collaborate and test your game. While you can 3-4 friends or 3-4 developers, level designers, game artists can come together and build games regardless of wherever they are in the world, remotely. You can be in one continent and I'm in another continent. We build game on UEFN, the same map, and you practically can collaborate. You can see what I'm doing per time. I can see what you're doing. So UEFN is so fun to use. It's a very fun tool. This Epic game is going to give 40% of Fortnite's revenue. So Epic Games dedicated about 40% of its revenue to people building on Fortnite. And so they give it back to the creators. As of 2022, Epic Games made over $6 billion on Fortnite. So that's a big deal. Other amazing features include live edits. Live edits means while you're building your games, you're publishing, you find mistake, you can come back to UEFN, make edits, you correct, make addition on your platform, launch again and test, and immediately whatever you have corrected or improved on or updated shows up live on Fortnite. And how do you do that? Just by one button deployment on your UEFN. There's a launch button there. Once you launch, whatever you have done within a short time gets updated and sent to Fortnite. You can upload your experience, your asset gets validated, and once your asset and everything is validated, then you can publish. You can deploy to every Fortnite platform. And then you can also publish your game via what is called the creator portal. I have a creator portal because I create games on Fortnite. I have some games on Fortnite. So you have to register. Once you register, it's not stressful at all. You just register and then you can be accepted into the creator portal. So what's currently possible in UEFN? Let me quickly say that UEFN is in its better form. It's in the better stage now. So improvements, there's continuous improvement. Every week there is an update. Every week there is an update. So it keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. Currently, you can use your own assets. When I started using UEFN last year, it wasn't easy to bring in your own asset into UEFN, but now that has been updated and is a whole lot better. Previously, you couldn't bring in meta-humans into UEFN, but now you can bring in your own custom-made NPCs, non-playable character. You can bring in meta-human into your map. That's importing meshes. You can import textures, you can import animations, you can bring in your audio, and there's a place called Fab, Sketchfab. 2023 September, Epic Games acquired, they partnered with Sketchfab and acquired a part of it. And so when we open UEFN, you're going to see a tab where you have Fab. Once you click that tab, it can help you access assets present in Sketchfab. You can create custom assets. You can create custom assets unique to your own map. Modeling, materials, and the rest. You have the modeling mode there. You can model. You can animate with control rig and sequencer. You can do all of this. You can use Niagara to create dynamic particle effects. You can create unique gameplay. You can make your gameplay unique to your own island by using Verse. The programming language used in Unreal Editor for Fortnite is called Verse. Verse was developed by Epic Games. In Unreal Engine, like Unreal Engine 5, we use C++. In UEFN, we use Verse. Verse is a whole lot more interesting, simpler, and easy to understand. So if you don't have programming background, no worries. Verse is very, very interesting. That being said, you can create custom landscape. You can create custom landscape to suit what you want to do. You can have a look and feel using post-processed volume. You can use post-processed volume. You can illuminate your island using Lumen, and there's also what the option called time of day control. You can control lighting in your island. You can import Creative Island into your project. You can collaborate. That's the very interesting one about this engine. You can collaborate using live edits and revision control. Revision control is a very unique one that you can use to collaborate with friends or other co-workers to build games on this platform. We yet have a limitation. The project limitations are a few of them. The upload size in UEFN is 2 gig. The publish For you to be able to publish your island, it should be maximum 400 MB, and then we still have the per platform memory limitations. Although you have like a notice that tells you the size of your game of your map per time. No worries, don't worry. Everything in UFN is highly optimized. All the assets in UFN, they are highly optimized. However, if you want to work with custom assets, you want to bring in your own assets, I'll advise you check and ensure they are highly optimized so that we can be within this size, this range. If your project goes way larger than this, then I'm sorry, you may not be able to publish. You may not be able to publish. So all those very fun and interesting games you see on Fortnite, they are within this range. So it's possible for you to build and publish as well on Fortnite. This year, first quarter of this year, Epic Games released this roadmap. The roadmap that Epic Games have been releasing, using to update, to make updates on Fortnite. Previously, we couldn't access physics, we couldn't trade items. Some of these are now possible. Look at the first quarter, new content templates, we have that now. New camera views, we have that now. And now players can, you can trade items on Fortnite now. And many of these. We have scene graph now, even though you cannot publish this for now, but it's still in this development stage. And this all of this you have proximity chat, social links. Now you can follow a creator. You have the When you go play on Fortnite and you love your creator, you can follow them on their social media links. You have access to do all of that. You have text chat. You can text, you can chat while playing games. And I can release this to you. This is the roadmap that is followed. Okay. Or still the same thing, you now have custom game items, social links, proximity chat, players, trading items, improve analytics. I can tell you analytics are way improved compared to when I started using UEFN. Okay, so we are ready to get started. At the end of today's class, you will be able to download the Epic Games launcher. You'll be able to sign in if you have an account with them, or sign up, and you will be able to install Unreal Editor for Fortnite. So we're looking at download and installation, and then we'll be looking at the generally the environment of UEFN. We'll discuss the UEFN basics, the building blocks of UEFN. We'll discuss it, and then we'll look at some devices and props that we'll talk about. So when you are done with today's class, you would have been able to install UEFN. You know how to launch on Fortnite from UEFN. And then you'll be able to create a new project, maybe your first project in UEFN, and then you can navigate the UEFN editor basis. I'll be using UEFN a lot. So when you hear me say UEFN, it means Unreal Editor for Fortnite. And then you'll be able to describe basic functions of some devices. There are over 200 devices, in UEFN. So let's get started. I'm going to send this link to the chat so you can all download this with me. Let's go to, okay. Let me use this to do. So I have this here. Okay. This is the tab for. Okay, so now I have to stop sharing I have to go off the camera so it doesn't lag. Because once the camera is on, it begins to lag. Turn off camera, and I hope you can hear me. Okay. This is the first one. Now, before you download and install, you need to be sure that your system can carry the engine. So we send this into the chat. You need this copy. It'd be nice for you to open up this web page and go through to be sure that your system can carry the editor. I'm sending this now to you. Okay, this is me. So where do we get the chat? Okay, this is chat. Okay, that's for the system specification. And this will be for the download. This is the link to download it. I've sent another one. So once you click this link this way, it takes you to this page. When you get to this page, you hit download the launcher. Once you hit download, now even this page gives you the step-by-step instruction on how to download that. There will be option for you to save, and this is asking where do you want to save the launcher. If I want it on my desktop, I select and then I'm going to hit save. Once you save, it gives you a folder that with an executable on how to install. I don't want to install it because I already have it installed, but you will click save, and when you're done saving, you will move to your desktop and locate the folder. When you get the folder, you need to only open up the folder and hit install. And so once you're done installing, the next thing will be to locate the launcher. How do you locate the launcher? I only need to use my Windows button and search. The moment I do Epic, see it comes up and I click Epic Launcher. Now, it opens up the Epic Games Launcher for me. And then I have this, look at the environment I have. Now, one thing for sure, you won't have this environment if you don't sign in or sign up. I have it because I'm already signed in. I'm going to go back. There are two ways to sign up. Since if it's your first time, once you open the launcher, it's going to take you to a prompt where you see a human icon and then you have to sign up or sign in. Let me open this and show you. You see where I have, you can also do it on web. When you open up this web page, you can click sign in. So when you click this sign in, it's going to give you the option for signing. That will be a human icon if you don't have an account yet. So if you don't have a Epic Games account, what you will see there will be like a human icon. When you click it, you have to sign up. So once you sign up, you can then, put in your email address and then you can sign in. I don't want to do this because I'm already signed in. So I move back. Look at the Epic Games launcher here. Now, the Epic Games launcher to the left has got three very important tabs, doing different things, performing different functions. I won't go through all of this. If I wanted to install Unreal Engine 5 or any of the Unreal Engine versions, I will need this. Once I click this, I navigate, but that's not for today. To install Unreal Editor for Fortnite, you need to select Library. When you select the Libraries tab, the environment will change, and then look at this section. So look at this. Oh, for me, these are all I have installed. For you, you see I have launch here. Mine is showing launch, but yours will show download. If it's your first time, it's going to be download. This is the editor, Unreal Editor. Once you click it, it will take you to a prompt and you'll be able to download the editor. You're going to download two things. After downloading one, the next will be Fortnite. You download UEFN and then you download Fortnite. Now, if that is fine, after download, your UEFN is installed and then you can always return to launch. I'm going to hit launch because I already have that. I hit launch and I'll wait for it to come up. See, it's from launch now, it's running. Give it some times and it's going to open up the project browser. Okay, that's coming up now. Okay. While this is opening up, let me just get water. If you want to take 2, 3 minutes to get water, you can do that. Amy. Okay, this is 83%. It's almost done. It's, okay, I think it's almost done. Okay, it's coming up, but it's not yet ready. I think this is taking time because I'm sharing my screen, but it's almost done. Good. Now, this is the project browser. The project browser. Let's quickly go through the project browser together. Now, to the left of the project browser, you also have several tabs. The first one has my project. Now, these are all the projects that I've worked on previously. So when you select my project tab, you get to the right of it, you get a whole lot of options of projects that you have worked on before. And then next is the island template. Island template, this is where you go if you want to start building your own game. See, right now, Epic Games, it has improved a whole lot. You now have some templates pre-made for you. You've heard of Fall Guys if you play Fortnite. These are starter templates for your Fall Guys. These are starter templates for your competitive race and speedrun tracks. And then you have a whole lot and all other templates pre-made for you that you can at least start off with to get an idea of how the landscape looks and feel. We are going to use a blank template. For every option you pick, to the right, you get a thumbnail and a description of what it looks like. Let me pick this for instance. If I select this, to the right, we're going to see a thumbnail and a description of the island you have selected. I select this and I get a thumbnail and description. You can also click this link to take to a documentation page that you can read more about. After that, you must have heard of Lego Island. You also have Lego Island template. As a creator, you can use the Lego Island template to build maps into Fortnite. Terms and conditions apply, but overall, it's very good. And then you have the feature examples. When you click these feature examples, the islands available for you once you click and open. We don't have all the time for today. I can't open all of this. In your own time, you can explore this. If you click any of these and open up, you get pre-made templates. You see how things were done. You can access some files, folders, assets, and even diverse programming language that were used to build some of these scripts, some of these maps, and then you can have an idea of what you can do on your own map. So this is feature example. From the name, it is really a feature example. Back to island template. I want to use this empty one so I don't forget. Now, if I select my starter template, a blank one, this is going to be a blank template with nothing pre-made for me. I have to do most of the things the way I want it. Now, let's go through some of this. Now, to your right, you have what is called revision control. If I tick revision control here, it means I want to work in a team. I want to work with a group of people, and I want them to have access to what I'm doing. I want them to see what I'm doing per time. And then I'm going to click here, select revision control. But I don't need revision control. So it's just going to be a simple basic game. If you're going to work in a team, you also come here and say team selection. You click this drop down, and then you tell, okay, so previously these are some of the teams I have worked with. So for this one, it's just me, and I say no, just me. From this point, you can also create a team. If I hit this button, create a team, it's going to take me to, let me just hit and see, create a team. It's going to open up, and then I have to fill the information of the people I want to work in a team with. Some of them will be collaborators, some will be administrators, some will be able to publish. So you assign roles to all of these people. Now he wants me to sign up and go into my portal, and I don't want to do that. So this is where to create a team. But if you did not create a team now, no worries. You can always create a team inside of the project. I'm going to show you how to do that. Having done that, you move to project location. All of my UFN projects, I save them in my drive D, and this is the folder I save. So in your own case, you can select this folder and you can browse through to select where you want your project, and then you can give a title. Let me give this a title. I'm going to say intro, and I will say underscore UFN, and let me just stop here, or let me say 1. So once this is done, I can hit create. Every other thing is fine. I'll just hit create, and it begins to create my very first project for this class, for this program, for us. Let's quickly look at our slide, what we have to do next. Now, we're going to look through the editor basis, try to look at the toolbars, the fab, place actors, and these are what to look at just in a bit. Now, this is my blank island. This is my blank island, and it's looking a whole lot like the Unreal Engine environment. This is looking a whole lot like the Unreal Engine environment. Quickly, let's talk about some of what you see here. Now, you see this, you have the menus at the top. You see where you have the menus at the top. Just like your Unreal Engine, you have file, you can create a new level. Apart from this level, if I want to have another level, I can create a new level. I can open my previous levels and recent levels. Once you click this, look at my recent level, the one I just created. For now, this is the only level. If I have 5 levels, all of them will display here. You can save your current level. You can save as, you know what this means, saving for the first time. You can save all, and then you can open a new project from here as well, and you can exit. If you're done with what you're doing, you can exit. We are not exiting for now. And then next is the edit. Similar to your edit menu in other applications where you can cut, you can undo, you can copy, you can duplicate, you can edit, you can delete. We'll speak more about editor preferences if we have a later class. And then windows, where you have some of these windows. We'll be talking about some of these later on. Outliner, details, look at your outliner here, look at your details, the world settings. And then you have several menu, the tools menu, the verse. When you start writing your code, you can build your code here. You can look at the verse explorer. If I don't have the verse explorer option here, I can click verse and I click verse explorer. This brings up my explorer. Yes, on the right. And you can build here, you can select, you can reach out, you can get help from here. And then also just below that, you have, of course, the title of this project, intro_UEFN_1. To the far right, you can minimize, you can restore, you can close very quickly, shortcuts for that. And this is a disk shape, means you can save, you can search. And if I click this, there are several modes I can work with. The environment we are in here is the selection mode. If I click this drop down, you see there are other. If I want to build a landscape, I need to click this. And the moment I click this landscape, the entire environment will change. The entire environment will change to fit for me to be able to build a landscape. So you can make it a desert. You can, and this is for foliage. You can bring in plants and flowers. Modeling. Some of us are very good at modeling. You have the modeling mode and animation. You can carry out your own customized animation using this mode. Next is where you have the project. Let me click this tab here and see what it says. It says already from the if you hover around any of this, it will always tell you what it does. Change, manage, publish your project in this menu. I'm done with my work and I want to publish. This is where I come. You'll be seeing how to upload to private version. If you upload this project to private version, only those you give your island code will be able to play. But if you generally publish your game and then you sign up in the creators portal and the rest, and you publish your project, then everyone can play your game. So you take note of some of this, and you can share this with a team. You have an existing team, you click this. Now, if you didn't create a team when you started in the project browser, when we were creating this project, you see, I told you I was going to show you how to do that, and this is it. You can create a team here. Once you click this, it's going to take you to the page where you can create a team. You can publish your project. You can open your creator portal here. I have a portal, so I can hit here and it opens up my own account for me. And you see, I'm already logged in. That's why it's saying log out. I don't want to log out of that. Next to that is the tab where you can quickly add to this project. If I click this point, I can add basic things like an actor, point light. This is where you get your place actors panel. You can add directional light, point light to your project. You can add different shapes like cube. You see, the moment I selected cubes, it brought that to me. The moment I selected cube, that came up. You can look at camera shake, scene art, actor, camera rig. You can rig here, and then you have post-process volume here. You can do all of that here. If I also click this place actors panel, see what comes up. You get the place actor panel here, where you can quickly do some basic things. Now, I talked about fab the other time. If I click this fab, it's going to open up the page where I can bring assets into this project. I'm looking at the time, and if I open this up, it's going to take some time, so I'll just leave it. Now, I have my verse section here. Verse, and this is green. This green shows that when you're writing your code and then you compile and you hit verse, I say verse, build verse code. If this turns green as it is, it means your codes have compiled successfully. You don't have a problem. But if after verse, build verse, you see red here, it means there's a problem and you need to fix that. in the Verse Explorer session. And you can hit launch session. Once we hit this launch session, it's going to take us directly to Fortnite, where we can view our game. And that goes, you see, you can see start game, session. For now, we don't have the session is on, it's not on, so you have session disconnected for now. And quickly, I also have options here where I can show FPS. I can do a whole lot of this by just clicking, checking and unchecking any of that. And then you have the perspective view. What we have as the default is called the perspective view. The perspective view gives you in-depth information. It helps you to be able to see your assets and the materials on it. We also have the orthographic view. The orthographic view has several options, top, bottom. So you can view this map from any of this. So if I select top, for instance, you're looking at it from the top. Bottom, this is how you see it. Left, this is how you see it. It's mostly like two-dimensional. This is good for level design. This is usually used by people, level designers. It doesn't give you in-depth information, but you can move things around. So I'm going to go back to perspective view. The same thing here, you can change from lit to unlit mode and several others. Look at them. If I select unlit, it's no lighting information, and then there are no shadows. No lighting information, no shadows. So I can be in the perspective mode, and then I can be in any of this in this mode. Let me see. Click wireframe. You see, wireframe gives you this information. You just see the wireframe mode. That's all you see. I'm going to go back and say lit. Let's go lit. Then you can show. When you click this, you can select what. If I don't want to show the atmosphere, and I look at that, the atmosphere goes up, and I can do that. Time of day, you can fix your time of day from here. You can use this to get the look and feel you want for your game. Look at that. I can leave it this way if I want to, depending on your genre or the story you're making in your game, how you want it. That's it. And many, many more. Now we have scalability. This scalability is set to low so that I can share my screen so there's no problem. Now, if I click it, you can actually change this. You can change to medium, you can change to epic, you can change to cinematic. Cinematic needs a very high-end PC for you to be able to work with. So I choose low because I need to share my screen for you to see what I'm doing. To the right, you have project size. This is where you will always get your project size. And this is question mark. Why do I have question mark all through? I have not launched my session. Memory has not been calculated. And so the system has not calculated the size of my project for yet. So that's that. Next, we look at the outliner. Now, if I select anything on my level, this is called a viewport. The white space you see here is the viewport. The white space you're seeing here is the viewport. Whatever you select here, if you go to the outliner, you have it highlighted and you can tell the name of whatever you're doing. So you see it here. This is a cube. If I also select here, it also highlights here. So I can also quickly select whatever I want to select from my outliner. And you see the gizmo changes and it highlights that. I can change and select whatever I want to select. The more you do that, everything shows up here. Now, this is the Verse Explorer. If you're going to use codes, you open up that. For today, we are not looking at that. It's an intro level. And then next is the details panel. Every object selected on your level has got information. The details panel can help you go through the information for every object selected. To your right, you see the location. It tells you to the location, tells you the rotation information if you rotate it, and all of that. It gives you access to all of that. And then you have the wall setting. All this is the default setting. You can also choose to dock and undock any of this. If you don't want this here, you can right click and say dock to sidebar. and you have it by the side. I can also dock this to side, and then I can dock this to sidebar, and then I can have my viewport becomes bigger. So if I need any of them, it's just to click, it opens up, and then I can expand it here. Look at that. I can expand this here. If you want to return it back, you just right click and undock from sidebar. And then you can also on your own undock any of this and place it wherever. Look at, I have undocked it and I can place it wherever I want to place it. You can undock any of this and place it right, left click, click and drag and place it wherever you want to. Now, let's assume I have moved things around and maybe I messed things up. As you have seen, maybe I have messed things up and I don't know how to place them again. I don't know where to place what. I can simply go to Windows and select. You scroll down to where you have load layout. Look at it here. Load layout, and then you can say default editor layout. Once I click this, it's going to reset my project to its default layout. Now, you can see there is this arrow here. You can click to expand. I want to click to expand because I want to talk about this. I want to quickly talk about this. Now, I have the first one here. It's called select. I can also use this to select. Now, this is select. Once I select this and I move to the outliner, it tells me the name of the object on my viewport that I have selected, and this is the cube. I can try the next one. The next one is still select, but selecting this option gives you access to the gizmo. The first one did not give me option to the gizmo. The second select option says select and translate object. So when I select this time, I see my gizmo that I can move to the x-axis, y-axis, and up. I can click and drag, it takes me up. I can click and drag, takes me left and right. And you see that. And then I can move around. You can also use your WASD to move around. I'm holding down the right mouse button now, and you see I'm panning around the entire environment. You can do this. And then same thing, if I don't know where what is, and I want to focus on an object, I can select the object and click F. It helps to focus on just that object. We also have the next one called select and rotate. This selection tab or icon enables us to rotate as well. So look at this. This is green for Y, and so I can rotate in the Y direction. Selecting this one, I can rotate the Z direction and X direction for us. And this is to scale. I have the options to scale. You see the gizmo to scale. I can click and drag, making it bigger or smaller. And then this can help to move around the gizmo, coordinate or local. I still have more of this here. Look at this. All of these are different options. Selecting this will help me snap to grid. And this is the grid setting. If you want it to snap to grid, I'll just select this. For the rotation, you can snap to rotation. What this means is if I select this, and I also have to select these settings. I want, every time I rotate, it's going to be 45 degrees rotation. And that's what it's going to give me. You see, every time I rotate, it's giving me 45 degrees rotation. And that's that about the environment. Let's move to the next slide very quickly. Now, we'll be looking at the main component of UEFN. And the main component of UEFN, you have your props, prefabs, and devices. Oh, and then we'll talk about some devices like you have seen. Now, we are not done. I didn't talk about the project content drawer. Let me click this. The content drawer. The content drawer helps to organize and manage your assets. So you have, and the structure, it uses a folder structure to manage your assets. I'm going to, this is way too large, and I'm going to try to dock it in layout. I'll select dock in layout. Just watch. Once I select dock in layout, it's going to arrange that for me. So it's going to see it's docked that in layout for me. We have several folders. If I move to this now, just to the left, you see I have the entire, all having all the folder for the game, where you have Epic, Fortnite, and UEFN. This is the title of my project. So this contains my map. This is the map we are currently working on. In a later class, we can talk about these features. And then if I select Fortnite, there are lots of folders for us to talk about. But quickly, I'm going to look at the devices folders, and I'm going to go to props and prefabs. Let me quickly look at props and prefabs. Now, props, let me double click to open. These are props. Props make up prefabs. No, I'm going to bring out one prop. This is a prop. So you can have several props put together to build a house. So props, that's in the props folder. Then going back there, I can also have what I call prefabs. Let me open this up. The prefab, you can bring in an entire city. Let me just, which is easy for me to just bring very quickly. Let me see. Okay, these are small ones. If I just click, drag and drop on the viewport, it's going to bring up the prefab called Art Decor. Give it some time, and it's going to show up for you. Yes. So you see, you can have this prefab. You can move in and move out. You can select. Once you select, see, the selection gives you access to the props that make up the prefab. So let me just go to my select. Look at that. So with this, I can see props make up prefabs. Let me just put that way. Props make up prefab. Now this is a prop. This is a prop. They make up the entire prefab. And so if I want to select this entire prefab, what do? I move to my outliner. The outliner, I try to, you see, these are all the props that make up that one. But I have to move way up to be able to select the entire prefab. Let me move way up. You click here and drag to the top. You need to select this. If you select this and move, you'll be moving only the prop. Look at that. That's wrong. I have to undo that. Control Z. But if I select this one, then I can move the entire prefab. You see that? I hope you understand. You can move the entire prefab. So that's that about prefab. Quickly, we'll move back to devices. We'll move to devices. What are devices? They are very important. Devices are what help you build out your gameplay effectively. We're going to talk about the island setting. We're talking about the player spawn pad and all control devices. We have 3 minutes left. The island setting is needed compulsory, is a compulsory component for all your maps. And that's because the island setting is used to configure the very basics of your island. Let's go look at that quickly. This is Fortnite. I'm going to locate this devices folder. You know, previously, our devices were not in folders, but right now, Epic Games have grouped them into folders, and it's really helpful. Now, this is the island setting. I'm not going to click and drag because it is already on my level. The island setting is already on my level. I just need to, I can go check it out here. Island, look at it, island setting, and it selects that for me immediately. That is the island setting. It is required, it's a compulsory one. And so let me just click and drag. That is the island setting. When you have your island setting, let's go to the details panel and see what it does. Detailed information about the island setting. Apart from the location, rotation, and the rest, you can, this is where you customize. You see max players. How many players do you want? You select it here. You want 16. If it's a single player, you select it here, 1. What type of teams are you forming? Is this going to be a team game? You select. This is where you customize settings and basics for your game. You have the class settings. Do you have class? how is the game going to end, or is going to how long before it starts, game countdown, and a whole lot of options. Look at that. You want to grant weapon, you want it to start the game to start with a pickaxe. This is where you do that. And look at that. You have to set all of that here. You see, the whole lot of scrolling down. So the first thing to do when you are building your games is to go to your island setting and try to understand what exactly do I want to do, and what do I set? How do I set? Do I want persistence in my game? This is where to set that all. And the next one we're looking at the player spawn part. The player spawn part is what spawns the player, and it helps to spawn the player. That's when without this player spawn part, of course, you can play games. A single player game, we have one spawn pad. Multiple player game, we have several spawn pad. Let me just show you that. When your project starts, it comes up with 2 player spawn pad. This is the first, this is the second. If I'm building a game and it's just for one person, then I have to delete one player spawn pad. I only need one person in my game. But if it's a game for 5 people or maybe 10, then I need 10 of this. So I can actually come here, type in player spawn pad, drag and drop, or I can duplicate this. How do I duplicate? Very quickly in UFN. If I don't want to go to my menu tab, I just hold down Alt, click and drag. Look at that. I hold down Alt, click and drag. I hold down Alt, click and drag. Hold down Alt, click and drag, and now we have 5 player spawn pads. If you have a multiplayer of say 16 people and you only have 5 player spawn pads, it won't work. Only 5 people will spawn into that map, the rest will not be able to have access. So this is worthy of a note. So it helps you to configure everything from scratch to finish, and it tells the number of players generally. Then you have hot controller devices. You can use the hot controller to hide or show parts of your HUD. You know what that means now? You have a map. When you have your game playing, your HUD controller can help show some information on your map. Let me just look out for the map here. The HUD controller. HUD. Okay. The moment I click, I type in HUD, you see it comes up. I can click and drag. For your devices to function on your map, please note that you need to drag them and drop. If you do not drag and drop on your level, it will not work. So this is the HUD controller. You can also come to the details panel to customize your settings. You look at all of that. You can customize settings here for your HUD controller. So HUD controller helps to show if there's anything you want to hide in your map, you use the HUD controller. If there's anything, sometimes you want to have a mini map by the side, you use the HUD controller for that. And with that, I've come to the end of introduction to UEFN. And